Discord Mafia.
Hello, Internet. My name's Jesse, and today I'm giving you my PowerPoint presentation on the top 10 ideas for Season 2 of What If. With me today are Christine and Golden. And throughout the presentation, do not be afraid to comment or have a question. Here's another thing. I made this PowerPoint over a year ago, and I forgot stuff. So I don't know how well the presentation is going to go. I don't know if some of these are obsolete now. I don't know if this is coming out before D23, where they might release a trailer for What If Season 2. So I guess this is for Season 3. Since Season 2 is already done, pretty much. All right, let's begin. Top 10 new What If ideas.
Oh
Stretched out to...
The spinning. What is this, like, Windows Movie Maker, like, 2008 PowerPoint transition?
I was going for a high school PowerPoint. I don't know what y'all's look like.
It's stretched out.
That's what I was saying.
Yeah. We're off to a really good start.
All right.
Oh my god.
Number 10. What if someone else adopted Peter Parker?
Oh.
Okay, I remember this one. So this
He
is
was adopted?
by Aunt May and Uncle Ben. It's his biological uncle and his wife.
Yeah.
They're not his parents.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, when I heard adopted, I was like, wait, what? Like, I thought... Never mind, okay.
So this is loosely based on what if someone else besides Spider-Man had been bitten by the radioactive spider, which is 3 stories in one. So this would be 3 stories about Peter being raised by someone other than Aunt May. The idea is his whole family died in the Loki invasion. So from that point on, someone else takes him under their wing. So the first story would be Iron Man finds Peter Parker and takes him in. And Peter grows up to be a very spoiled, rich kid who idolizes his adopted father. And when he gets spider powers, is like super excited to show him. But Tony's like super paranoid that something's going to happen to him. So he builds him like Iron Man suits and overdoes it. And it kind of shows how different Peter would be if Tony entered his life a lot earlier. The second story would be the Vulture. Peter Parker goes to the same school as his daughter. He's on the ground, clearing stuff. He finds Peter. He takes him in. Then he starts doing his crime stuff. So when Peter becomes Spider-Man, how does he deal with his adopted father being this criminal? Does he join the family business? Is Peter in on this stuff? Yeah. And then the third story would be Odin. Thor finds Peter and thinking, well, this is Loki's fault, takes him to Asgard, and Odin,
like Loki.
like Loki,
Odin
takes in Peter.
Odin just likes it.
So Peter is raised by Asgardians and becomes like super strong and like because he's got the Asgardian training. And Loki takes over for Odin at one point and sends him off somewhere to die because he doesn't want him to discover he's not really Odin. And then Peter gets bit by an alien spider and gets powers and fights his way back to Asgard to dethrone Loki.
Oh, that's pretty interesting. Like it.
Okay. Number 9. What if Loki got the ether? Okay, I remember this one too. So in the original movie, Natalie Portman gets teleported to a rock and puts her hand in the rock and gets the ether. But what if Loki in prison gets teleported out of prison and does the same thing? Not only is he free, he now has the reality gem and he knows how to use it, unlike Natalie
And
Portman.
he's probably stronger. Like, he wouldn't die.
Exactly. Or at least he can figure out how to not die.
Yeah.
How would Loki, from this point in the story, deal with having the power to change reality?
Oof.
Yeah.
Ugh.
And also, he wouldn't be there to accidentally send the villains to kill his mom. So maybe she gets to live. Yeah, there's the hand. And I guess that's all I had.
Nothing else?
I don't remember what I put in these, but that's the general setup.
Okay.
Which is Loki is gets teleported out of prison and gets the reality stone. Ooh, or sludge. Number 8. What if Doctor Strange used Extremus? Okay.
What was Extremus?
That's the serum used in Iron Man 3 that lets you heal and gives you like fire powers.
Yeah, that one.
So in this world, Doctor Strange was at the conference that they were all at, and at the 2000 New Year's celebration / medical and science conference. I don't know what that thing was.
You can all put that under science.
Yeah.
It's a science conference.
Well, yeah. Doctor Strange is a world-renowned surgeon. I don't know if he was at that point, but he would be science-related or medical-related. He goes and he joins AIM. He's not like in the inner circle of AIM, so he's not part of the crime stuff. So eventually when that falls, he's like, whatever, I didn't like his stuff anyway. But when his hands get damaged, he remembers AIM developed the Extremus formula and uses it to heal himself. So he becomes like this fire guy who can't, like, he's afraid he's going to blow up. He's trying to find a way to not blow up. And how different does his life go if he solves the problem this way? And also, who's there to stop Dormammu when that time comes? Yeah. Oh, right. Pictures.
This soldier.
Here's his hand. So use Extremus. And there you go. I gotta remember I have the PowerPoint presentation. Number 7. What if Rhodey was kidnapped with Tony Stark? Okay, so there's a scene in the first Iron Man where he tries to get into the vehicle with Tony, but he says, I'm sorry, this is the fun V. The humdrum V's back there. And he goes, what if he said, shut up, and just gets in with him. They're both kidnapped, but Rhodey's the one who takes the hit for Tony. He jumps in front of Tony, and he gets hit with the shrapnel. And so Tony develops the arc reactor and all that to save him. So when they build the suit of armor, Rhodey is the one who has to pilot it. They get out, Rhodey becomes Iron Man, and Tony Stark becomes his guy in the chair.
Oh.
Now, is Rhodey a better Iron Man than Tony because he's not a selfish, awful person? At the start, at least. I mean, Tony doesn't go through the journey as much. It's Rhodey, and Tony's just his best friend. He wants to help him. Does he get jealous? Does he start making his own Iron Man armor? Where does it go from there? Rhodey was Iron Man at one point in the comics. Eventually, Tony Stark's alcoholism gets too bad, and he can't be Iron Man anymore. He's just a drunk. And so the world needs an Iron Man, so Rhodey takes up the mantle, which eventually leads him to becoming War Machine. But how different would it be if he was Iron Man first? Number 6. What if Bucky became Ant-Man?
How would that work?
So, in this world... I forgot about that.
Ooh. That's definitely the sign of a high school PowerPoint presentation. You just crop.
Very on point.
Yes.
Very on point with the PowerPoint.
Yeah.
So, in this world, Scott Lang never broke the law. He never stole anything from his boss. So, he never gets arrested. So, when Hank Pym needs someone for this mission, Scott Lang's not even on his radar. Instead, he notices what just happened with the Winter Soldier in DC. Using his resources and his ants and camera stuff. He finds Bucky still trying to figure out who he is and offers him a deal. Hey, you help me with this mission. I'll help you figure out who you are and get back on your feet. Make amends for all the things you've done. Because I'm Hank Pym. I've done some bad things too. We understand each other. And he gets it super fast. He's trained. He knows how all this, he can shrink, he can grow, he already knows how to fight. So they're ready to go pretty quick. There's very little hitches in the plan. Except when the deal comes, they're selling it to Hydra. Remember?
Yeah.
The Pym technology that he stole or redeveloped. So when they figure out who Ant-Man is like they do in the movie, Hydra goes, oh, hey, that's our guy. So when they have Ant-Man captured in the little thing, they say the code words, and And now Ant-Man works for Hydra. Winter Soldier now has Pym particle technology and knows how to use it.
Oh.
And yeah, they're the guys from Hydra. And it just goes south real bad. That Hydra reigns again with their army of shrinking soldiers. And it goes bad for the world.
Just that's it? It just goes bad for the world?
I mean, that's how a lot of these end.
I mean, you're not wrong.
Have you seen season 1?
Yes, I have.
Number 5. What if Zemo died in Sokovia? So we know that his wife and child and father died, and he was somewhere else. What if he was with them, and they all died? What would change? Would Civil War still happen? Kinda. So yeah, Sokovia happens. He and his family are wiped out. Then they sign the Sokovia Accords, but there's no bomb. So Black Panther's dad lives. There's no incident for Captain America to jump into. Him and Falcon just kind of, we're gonna go look for Bucky. Like, we're fine, we're retired, whatever. We're off doing our own thing. But then shortly after, Black Widow's sister sends her the vials of the antidote for the chemical thing and getting contact, tells her this is happening. So the events of Black Widow are only like a week after Civil War. So this is the first incident post signing. So they go through the proper channels like they're supposed to. They go to the UN and all that. And they are in the pockets of Dreykov. He owns all kinds of world leaders they've established in Black Widow. So they say, we're not going to... This mission's not okay. So you're not allowed to go into this one. Like Captain America feared would happen. What if somewhere we need to go and they don't let us? So Black Widow goes against Iron Man in this version of Civil War. It's her sister, and probably Cap and Falcon against Iron Man and his group. And the big showdown, instead of being in that airport, is... Do I have it? Yeah, Civil War. They go to Siberia to get her dad, because he knows where to get Dreykov, maybe. So that's where the big battle is, between all the heroes.
That'd be kind of cool, actually.
And I love the idea of them all showing up, trying to save him. He goes out, he sees Captain America, and he's like, rematch! And so Cap has to fight him while everything else is going on. It's like, who are you? What are you talking about? And that's like the big battle that happens.
That's been really interesting, actually.
Yeah.
I like that. It's your best one yet, Teach.
Yeah. Okay, moving on.
Oh my gosh.
Number 4. What if Shang-Chi died instead of his mom?
Oh, dang.
So we all saw Shang-Chi. We know that these guys came up and they killed his mom while he watched. What if he ran out to help her, died, and then they left and the mom couldn't do anything? Then Wen-Wu shows up and he's just devastated. So in the original movie, he's devastated, so he restarts his business. But losing a son, he blames the mom. He hates her now.
Oh.
You were supposed to protect them. He doesn't have the strength to start his criminal empire again. So he takes his 10 rings and he goes off. Oh, is there? Yeah. And he finds the ancient one. And she promises to help him cope through spirituality and training in the mystical arts. And also, those rings you have are very interesting. We want to study those. So he agrees. And he trains with them for a while. There we go. And then he learns about the Time Stone. And then he learns about the Infinity Stones. And he realizes if he can get all 6 Infinity Stones, all he has to do is snap his fingers and he can bring his son back. So he takes up the rings and just Thanoses his way across the universe to get all the stones. When he gets a stone, he puts it on one of his rings. They can hold the power.
Oh. Wait, so does he
like it.
also know sorcery in this version? Because
Yes, he can do the portals and he knows some
He's
basic
just learned.
spells.
He
Yeah,
basically-
So he can travel around the universe.
he's basically Doctor Strange.
First, he takes the time stone, and then he travels around. I don't know if I say the order. Yeah, he goes to Asgard, where he gets the space stone, and which can lead him to the other stones. So he's got time, space. He goes to nowhere, gets the reality stone, where he goes up against the Guardians and them, and then he gets the Power Stone. Gamora tries to stop him, I guess. I don't remember the details I wrote here. He comes up against Gamora. I remember. So the final stone he needs is the Soul Stone. He gets there, and they tell him you can only get it by sacrificing something you love. As well, she owes our son this. So I'm going to sacrifice my wife.
But she doesn't love her.
Well, he hates her, but he still loves her. I mean, he justifies anyway. So he throws her off the cliff.
Does it work, though?
And the final stone is in the scepter on Earth. The Mind Stone. The Avengers find out that this is happening. And so Iron Man builds a special suit with the Mind Stone in the helmet to power himself, so he has the power to hopefully stand up against the Mandarin. So we get Iron Man versus the Mandarin, which is they're supposed to fight. They're in the comics, and the Mandarin has rings with different powers on them, like in the comics. And it's the final battle, and this can go a couple different ways. He beats Iron Man, of course. I guess I didn't have the second part. But basically, this can go either he gets all the rings.
I mean stones.
Stones, thank you. And snaps, dies, but his son's back. And he's just Shang-Chi on this world, like, what's happening?
He dies.
Because the ring, all the stones are too much for him to handle, even with the 10 rings channeling it. So, but he brought Shang-Chi back. But his mom's dead. His dad's dead. He's jumped forward in time many years. All the heroes are dead. He's like, where am I? What do I do? Or, I'm thinking when he fights the Guardians, he kills them all. And he gets on Thanos' radar. Before he snaps, Stormbreaker flies through, hits him in the head. And Thanos comes out. Because he went to where the gauntlet was made, and he got the axe from there. And he went for the head, and he takes the stones and snaps. No heroes to stop him. And Thanos wins. I don't know which way's better.
I like the first way better.
Yeah, it's a little bit more tragic.
It is.
The other way is just Thanos wins.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the idea for what if Shang-Chi died instead of his mom.
It's kind of cool.
Number 3. What if Wanda created the Hex in Wakanda? So this would be right after Vision died the second time. Thanos has all the stones. He's about to snap. But the difference in this universe is when they were in Europe together, I don't know what country that was, Vision showed Wanda the deed. Instead of just saying, we should run off together. He said, we should run off together. I bought a house in New Jersey. She imagined the life they would have. That kept her going throughout Infinity War. Like, we're going to save you. We're going to get that life we want together. And then he died. And then she killed him. And then brought back. And then Thanos killed him. And now he's about to wipe out everyone. Wanda freaks out and creates the Hex sitcom world then and there.
Oh.
So in Wakanda, in the midst of that battle, she makes suburbia. All the heroes and Thanos become 60s sitcom characters. And on the outside, it's Doctor Strange is like, oh, we should have been wiped out by now. What happened? Yes.
Question. All right. What different sitcoms would you use for the eras
Since-
of 60s to
90s.
90s?
Well, because this is a 30-minute show, it might just be 50s, 60s, grayscale.
Oh, okay.
Because I think for the show, it's going to be split between Wanda keeping everyone trapped. Captain America, Black Widow, War Machine, Thanos, his Black Guard, whatever they're called.
Yeah, sons. Or it's
The children of Thanos are all trapped. Yes.
So, is this not one of the possibilities that Doctor Strange would have seen?
No. Well, that's debatable. I don't know if it's possible that this could have happened, and he's like, crap. I was banking on the other thing happening.
Okay.
Because he sees possible futures.
Yeah.
So I want him, Iron Man, and Shuri, and I guess Spider-Man to be on the outside of the Hex in Wakanda, trying to figure out how do we get in there? How do we save everyone? The Stones and Thanos are both in there. I don't think they're together. Like Wanda changes the Stones into something else in this world. So
They're just like rings or something.
Yeah. Oh wait, I got images. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it kills him. Yeah, there. So it's kind of, they all get turned into happy-go-lucky sitcom. And then, everyone outside who was on Titan, working with everyone outside in Wakanda to try to fix this situation. Like, how do we get everyone out, but also make sure Thanos doesn't just get the stones as soon as this is over?
That'd be cool.
So, that's that one. And then number 2, what if Steve Rogers became Thor?
Oh.
Okay, so this idea I had, I kind of want them to do this in the comics too. I think I might have mentioned this one to you before at some point. This idea I had. But basically, Thor did something stupid in 2011.
Yeah, you did mention this to me.
And Odin, to punish him, stripped him of his power and put the thing on the hammer saying, you have to be worthy to lift this. What if he did something stupid like this a few decades earlier? Say in the 1940s. So Thor and his hammer land on Earth. And it is recovered by the U.S. government before Thor can get his hands on it. They drop everything they're doing because they found this magic hammer. Words pop up on it saying, you get the power of Thor if you're worthy. So they start throwing all kinds of soldiers. Hey, lift this hammer. Hey, try to lift this hammer. Until finally, skinny Steve Rogers picks it up and becomes Thor. Or I guess Captain Thor. This is the propaganda name.
Yeah.
So the American with the power of Thor. So he's powered. He can fly around. He has all the powers of Thor. He gets big transformation, all that fun stuff. Mm-hmm. But Thor's still around and immortal, and he's pissed. There's no Jane Foster to make him learn a lesson. He's still the arrogant jerk he was before, and now some scrawny dude's got his power. So what's Thor do? He joins Hydra. And because the U.S. government put all their chips in the hammer basket, they never recruited Erskine. So Hydra has the super soldier formula. And Thor is who they give it to.
Oh, no.
So Thor becomes a super soldier. And with Hydra tech, he can simulate his lightning powers. And so we get a fight between Thor Steve Rogers against Super Soldier Thor.
That's pretty cool.
Essentially, their powers are swapped, and they're at odds with each other. And that's kind of the big fight of the episode. Yeah. Okay, number 1. But first, some honorable mentions. These are 2 ideas I had recently that I couldn't put on here because I made this over a year ago. First one is, what if Ultron worked? Basically, the difference here is Bruce Banner was in the room when Ultron woke up and convinced him, forget your programming. Forget what we told you have to be. You're alive. And he gives him a big, powerful speech saying, you can be anything you want. You don't have to do the armor around the world. But Ultron says, no, I want to do that. And he becomes a good guy. What's a good guy Ultron look like? How much better does everything after go? There's no vision. Mm-hmm. So how does all that stuff go? And the other idea I had is, what if Quicksilver became Moon Knight?
Oh.
This is a little bit of a spoiler for Moon Knight, but he becomes Moon Knight. I did the math. He becomes Moon Knight in 2015, the same year Age of Ultron happens. And something similar happens to stuff that happens in Age of Ultron. So what if Khonshu just went to Quicksilver instead? That's the idea.
Ah, I like it.
Yeah, that's it.
Honorable mention.
All right, number 1. What if the Avengers formed in the 80s? Okay.
That'd be an amazing 80s camp room.
So I'm not saying what if these characters existed in the 80s. We have comic books for that. I'm saying what if there was an Avengers team in the 1980s?
Like an 80s,
who would be on it?
80s A-team.
Well.
So this is loosely based on what if the Avengers formed in the 50s, where they just put together a bunch of 50s era characters they own. So they're the first Avengers. So in this world, Marvel, Captain Marvel's mentor, as we know, she was working secretly for the Skrulls, but she was getting funding and missions from the Kree to develop faster light travel for them, but she was going to use it and give it to the Skrulls. Someone found out about her plans early. So instead of them finding out in 89, they find out in 84. And because it happened at a different point in time, the mission to deal with it didn't go to him. Yaglar? Whatever his name was.
Him.
Instead goes to Ronan the Accuser. Because he was closer or in the area at the time. And we've seen how he deals with missions. Full-on assault invasions. So the Earth is invaded by the Kree.
A little bit of genocide, just sprinkle it.
Yeah. And they're looking for, full-on invasion. They're looking for Skrulls. They're looking for Marvel. And they're looking for the Tesseract. I had the wrong order. So they're going around looking for these stuff. At this time when they invade, Ant-Man and the original Ant-Man and the Wasp are in Russia doing some spy stuff.
Ooh.
They are currently in combat with the Red Guardian and Black Widow's mom, who was also a Black Widow. So this is loosely based on the statement he makes that he fought Captain America in the 80s, around 84. It is my headcanon that he actually fought Ant-Man. But he lost, so he's like, nah, that was Captain America. I fought Captain America. But it was Ant-Man. He couldn't admit to himself that it was Ant-Man. Well, anyway, that fight's like happening. It's these four fighting each other when Russia gets just bombed by the Kree. And they have to work together to get out of the situation. Oh yeah, there's the comment. Captain America. They also invade Wakanda because they mistake the vibranium mound for the Infinity Stone. Because it's a very powerful
source
thing.
Yeah.
Which brings in Black Panther, T'Chaka, to defend the country against the Kree. While this is all happening, Ego is on Earth, about to kill the love of his life, when suddenly he's attacked because they think he's an Infinity Stone. Or he has an Infinity Stone.
Because
he's a god.
He's just literally a celestial hanging out
on Earth.
Yeah.
So he doesn't give her a tumor because he's attacked. And he's like, all right, I gotta deal with whatever this is. They are all brought together by Head of S.H.I.E.L.D., Howard Stark, who thinks we need extraordinary people to deal with extraordinary situations. So he's like the Nick Fury at this time.
Okay.
And he convinces them all to join forces and fight off the Kree. And you get the Avengers swirling moment where they're all like standing there.
Interesting. That's a lot of people, though.
Yeah. Okay, I guess that's the end of my slides. But basically, the end result of this is Wakanda's secret is out in the 80s. People know it's advanced culture. Relations between America and Russia. The Cold War ends because it's like, hey, there are aliens.
Yeah.
And Ego decides he doesn't want to kill his girlfriend. And he wants to be there to help raise the sun. And he becomes an Avenger. And so Star-Lord grows up with his dad.
I feel like Ego as an Avenger, though, is just like overkill.
Well,
he's a Celestial.
I was trying to come up with like, we need a Hulk and a Thor. Oh wait, Ego's both.
That's too powerful, man. I would argue he's more powerful than.
I would say even this.
Yes, he is.
This would ultimately end as like a Justice Lords situation, like DC. So they like, I think they would, most of these characters would turn evil. They'd probably kill T'Chaka because he wouldn't go along with their plans.
Well, why they like Red Guardian is just glad that he's famous. He's a world hero.
Well, yeah. I mean, those
And the Wasp are like, we're kind of, the spy stuff is really dangerous. There's no Cold War, so Wasp never gets lost in the quantum realm. So they're just like, we have a more stable career now for our daughter. That's good. T'Chaka decides maybe they shouldn't close. He learns a lesson T'Challa learns to have this adventure, and Ego learns to he has a new mission in life. Like he was distracted from killing her so that he can defend the world. Why? Why didn't he just leave? Who cares? But he realized he does care. He cares about her. And, maybe Quill, young Peter Quill, has the gift, has the spark. Maybe I should stick around instead of, having him shipped to me. So yeah,
okay.
That's my 10 ideas.
Hold on. We got to do the whole high school clap.
Oh.
Like,
thank you. That's my presentation. Thank you. So what do you guys think?
I liked this idea, and I like the Steve Rogers Thor idea.
That's why it's 1 and 2. Or no, I think Wanda was 2. That's why they're top 3.
Yeah.
I do think these are the better ideas of what I had. So yeah, these are all, I came up with these. I mean, some of them are based on comics a little bit. And I think I mentioned,
I like the Wenwu one too.
I think my honorable mention, Ultron was probably one someone else came up with too.
I also like the Wenwu.
Yeah,
Thanos
the Shang-Chi one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, my idea was I really wanted someone else to do what Thanos did. Like who else do we have that could do what Thanos did for different reasons? Mm-hmm. And I thought, Wenwu.
Yeah, and I like that you incorporated like instead of like he still got obsessive like in the original movie, but instead it was just
didn't have a son to put it into.
Yeah. Yeah, because she's on equal footing.
Yeah.
Instead, like he just like bye.
He's like, whatever.
I hate you. Bye.
So yeah, those are my ideas. Marvel, if you like them, they're not free. You gotta hire me.
I got more where that's coming
storyboarder right here.
I got so many more ideas. Allegedly,
should get on the storyboarding.
Pay me first, and we'll see where it goes.
Yeah. So yeah, let me know.
Pay me first.
Yeah, whatever. Reach out. Get in my DMs.
Slide into his DMs.
Yeah, I'm sure I have those. Probably.
They have enough money. They can find
you.
You
can find me.
They can find out.
Find me.
You just get a letter in the mail. Like, we're in.
It's like Harry Potter, where like the light and then the wind.
It goes through like your fireplace.
Yeah.
You're like, what is that?
All right. Well, thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoy this as well. I do have some more PowerPoint presentations. Some more Marvel ideas that I'm hoping to Marvel reach out to me for.
Well, don't tell them all of your ideas all at once.
Well,
you got the sample.
You gotta get the job first.
He's sampling it out.
Yeah.
Like right there.
Oh, creating your portfolio. Got it. Okay.
Well, thanks for watching, everybody. Like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know which one of these was your favorite idea I had, because I'm curious. Which one was your favorite idea of mine?
Yeah.
Thanks for watching, everybody. Bye.
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 Bye. Bye, Internet.